Hey YouTube, Girsu here. Today I'm going to be profiling for you guys my Adamancipator deck profile. This is the deck profile that I had took to my locals again yesterday, maybe tomorrow, or maybe 2 days ago, depending on when I actually upload this video. Today is Sunday, so I went there on Saturday. And did pretty well. I actually went X1, ended up losing in the last round to Eldritch Synchro again because, in my opinion, that's the best deck. It's better than this one because if you can't kill them in one turn, they're just going to basically kill you with their Eldritch cards, and they're needle fibering you every turn, so it's a little hard to keep up with them after you've exhausted your extra deck. So basically, first round I played against Shadal Invoked, and actually just 2-0'd them. They went first game, and they must have had a really bad hand because they literally just made Winda and passed, and then I had Tackle Crusader in my hand, so I just normaled it and crashed it into the Winda, and then I had Analyzer actually in my hand, and then I just made an unbreakable board. Game 2, I really don't remember it too much. All I know is I won again, And then second round, I played against Altergeist, and I surprisingly 2-0'd them. Game 1, I went first, and they just, it's Adamancipator, so they didn't have an answer for my board. I just won. And then game 2, I had double evenly matched in my hand. They had Judgment for the first one, but I had the second one, so I'm just that good. So, but round 3, I played against I don't even know if it was the FTK, but I played against Rocket Dragon Link, and I went first. Game 1, Resolve Needle Fiber, I won. Game 2, he won, and game 3, I actually decided to go second. I opened Dark Ruler and evenly blew him out, built the board, he couldn't come back. And then obviously round 4, I played against Eldritch Synchro. He won the dice roll, so that was already pretty unfortunate for me, because not only did he needle fiber comboing, but he had fucking double effect Veiler, and that was just not a fun time for me. And then game 2, I went first, and then he had fucking Dark Ruler no more, and then he made his board, and then he was doing Eldritch things, and long story short, I'm gonna shut the fuck up now about it. I figured I'd let you guys know more or less, my matchups, not that anybody really cares, but this is the deck profile that I had took to the tournament. I took this instead of Orcus. You guys know Orcus is my baby, it's my favorite deck, but unfortunately, it breaks my heart to say this, but Orcus is just not good right now, and I don't enjoy playing it in this format, so let's get into the rocks. I play Triple Analyzer. Oh yeah, by the way, sorry there's a little bit of paint and stuff on my hands. I was working earlier. I just only washed my hands. I haven't taken a shower yet because I'm lazy as fuck. So, Triple Analyzer. This guy is really good for going second. He's really good too because he's a level 4. So if you hit a level 4 Excavation on this, which hint, there's only 2 monsters in this deck that aren't, there's only 1 rock in your deck that you can hit that's not a level 4. So this is really good for getting you into your Gallant Granite or your Adamancipator Risen Dragite, especially going second. Dragite is definitely the best synchro monster when it comes to going second. Being able to potentially bounce 4 or 5 cards from your opponent's field is absolutely ridiculous. Like I said, he's your Cyber Dragon. If you don't control a monster and your opponent does, you just special summon him. Now take into consideration too, guys, that their effects to special them from the hand are activated effects. They're not inherent summons, so you make sure that you reveal, when you're activating these guys' effects in your hand, don't just slap them on the field, because it just shows your opponent that you're an inexperienced player, honestly. And then all of the tuners in the main deck share the effect where you can, during your main phase, excavate the top 5 cards of your deck, and then you can special summon 1 level 4 lower non-tuner rock. So all the tuners share that, so I'll kind of skip that little tidbit of information for the future. And next is the best girl, Researcher. She is your best opener when it comes to the Adamancipator monsters. All you have to do is just control a rock monster, and you could special summon them. So, as you can tell, obviously she's the best extender slash play starter slash artwork in the deck. She's probably going to be the one when and if the time comes this deck gets a little bit of a consistency hit. Hell, I mean, I even see them putting her maybe to like 2 or something like that, just to reduce the amount that you open her with Mirror Guardian or Doki Doki, because it's just insane when you open her. And Guardian, especially Guardian, because you're just turned off from hand traps. But yeah, if you control a rock, you just special summon her for free. She's the best tuner, and she is the best artwork in the deck. So, Triple Researcher. And the last of the tuners, you play Tripleseeker. Also, let me know too how you guys like this kind of distance from the camera. I mean, I didn't make like too much of a difference, but it is a little bit farther away. So, I mean, if you guys want to see the cards closer, just let me know, or if this is fine, you know, I'll keep doing it like this. This is actually a little easier on me too, so just let me know if you guys like it or what, or just don't say anything about it. And just but yeah, Seeker is he's your kind of your second best one. I really kind of like the Analyzer. I think he's really good because when you go second, he's the one you can really count on. This guy is kind of just dead in the water if you don't have another Adamancipator monster, and then he's not the. But I mean, obviously, so is the Analyzer. But this guy, I mean, if you open him and nothing else, you can just normal summon him and you know, activate his effect. Now the good thing is if you're playing against a good player, they're not going to Ash or Veiler or Impermanence or Tuners, because if you have an Extender in your hand, then you just go into Needle Fiber and then they just lose. So yeah, most of the time, good players won't actually hit hand traps against these guys unless they have like 4 or 5 hand traps in their hand. Maybe they'll try, but I don't see that happening. So the good thing is if you have to normal summon this guy, he's still a play starter. And the way I have built this deck, it's not the same as the way other people have built it. So take that into consideration. I still play more or less the bare bones original version, the way this deck is supposed to be played to me. You can play however you want, and I have no discriminatory feelings about the way anyone else plays the deck. I just prefer to never miss on any of my excavations. And I've only missed maybe 3 or 4 times with this deck off excavations. I've built it so consistent that, yeah, you're not going to miss. And that's how I like to play. I like my deck to do what my deck is intended to do. So let's get into the excavators, or the excavations. Tackle Crusader. This guy is a must. Now take this with a grain of salt if you want, but this is the second best excavation off of your deck when it comes to going second, because he can deal with so many stuff. Like I said earlier, he dealt with Windus for me. He's really good with IP going first. If you search him with the Block Dragon, you get a double interrupt with Unicorn and Tackle Crusader, because you pitch a card with Unicorn and activate its effect with IP, and then he'll trigger afterwards to either book a monster or bounce a spell or trap. You're really going to book a lot more than you bounce spells and traps. But yeah, this card's pretty good. And people who don't read cards will also run into him, and yeah, they're not going to have a good time with that either. So he's the second best excavation when it comes to going second. Then I still play, this is kind of why I say it's like the bare bones original version of the deck, because I still stay true to the Gokugos. I don't really like the names of these cards, as I stated in my last deck profile, so, you know, forgive me if I don't say them. But yeah, the Gigas, he's one of the best excavations too when it comes to free bodies, because you can even hit himself while the other one is in the grave and just special summon him for free. He's really good with cards like Foolish Burial too. You could send him if you already have access to Block Dragon. So this is basically like your rank 4 engine. Gallant Granite is still busted, so you want to open that card every time. Even if you already have Block Dragon and Researcher, you just search another Block Dragon. You get it out of your deck so you don't hit it with any of your excavations, because you cannot special summon Block Dragon with any of your excavators. So yeah, Gallant Granite is definitely really key to this deck still. That's why I still play the Gokugos, because they're basically like a free rank 4 engine. Now I don't play any of these spells or traps, the Adamancipator and the whatever the other one is fucking called. Yeah, I don't play those because those are just 6 cards in your deck that are completely useless when it comes to excavating. So I just play the 6 Gokugos, like you're gonna see them. So and this one basically does the same thing, except he's an ignition effect, not a triggering effect. So he's actually like slightly better in certain circumstances because you could set him up and then excavate versus having to have an open slot on the field. Because sometimes with Gigas, unfortunately, there has been more than I'd like to admit times where I've actually had all of my 5 main deck zones filled up when I needed to trigger the Gigas. So unfortunately, those are times where Glove is just better. And he's also the cooler artwork. If these guys didn't have such gay names, they would be pretty freaking cool. But they sound like children's toys. So yeah, and then Doki Doki. This one is going second. Is, I think, honestly, like just the nuts. Being able to hit him off, this forces negates basically. If your opponent doesn't stop him, you're just gonna bring out more and more threats on the board. I mean, I wouldn't say he's the best excavation going second. The best excavation going second is Guardian. He's just the best excavation, like, period. But because if they let your excavation resolve and you get Guardian on the field, you deal with any negate, basically. But Doki Doki too, because he just swarms the field. You can even pitch dead Nibiru's in your hand and summon another Nibiru from the deck. And it's, you have to, excuse me, had to yawn for a second there. You have to summon it in an attack position, which really doesn't matter. So you just summon a free 3000 beat stick on the field. So, I mean, yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, definitely play 3 of this card. He's level 2, so he helps you go into Herald. And he's an Earth. What more can you ask for? So, one of the best generic rock supports out there for sure. And now the best going second excavation, or going first excavation, basically the best excavation, period, is Guardian. This guy shuts off hand traps, forces your opponent to use hand traps awkwardly. The only thing that really stops your deck, or affects it, I should say, is impermanence, because that's just like the godly hand trap against a lot of decks, because it can't be called by the grave, doesn't get hit by Appaloosa, none of the monster effect negator stoppers or anything. So yeah, the only thing that's the only one that really affects it. But with Guardian on the field, you're protected from Ash, Nibiru, Veiler, Ghost Mourner, Ogre. People are gonna start to play Ogre now too. So really good for baiting hand traps and stuff like that. So yeah, Guardian, he's the best excavation you will hit on your entire deck. And I was also playing triple of the, Dwayne, The Rock. This guy, I mean, if you resolve this again at certain points in their combo, you win. I mean, there shouldn't be cards like that in the game, but I mean, it's 2020. I mean, unfortunately, the reason why I like this deck, well, I should say the reason why I play this deck is because, I mean, there's so many instances where, like, if you resolve this or you resolve that, you just win, honestly. I mean, I don't like playing like that. I don't want you guys to misinterpret me liking the deck because I'm winning. But, I mean, the object of the game is to win. So, I mean, obviously I'm going to play a deck that I think I'm going to win with. I don't really like cards that just, oh, well, I resolved this card. Looks like I win. So, I mean, I still like fun and interactive turn-by-turn Yu-Gi-Oh! But unfortunately, you're going to have to play casually if you want to experience that. If you're going to play against the meta, you're going to have to, suck it up and play cards that are just auto wins if you activate them. And this might be the last deck profile I get to show this off to you guys. But this is Block Dragon. You guys know, everybody's fucking favorite card in the deck. I mean, from my standpoint, this is my favorite card in the deck. Obviously, I play the deck. Free +3s are pretty good, I hear. And Dragon Rulers are also pretty good, too. So he's basically the Dragon Ruler for rocks, except he's like 80 times better. Because you can summon him as many times as you have fodder. So I actually have ultra rare Dark Illusion Block Dragons coming in the mail. I know the card's going to get hit, but they were like $1.14. I was going to kind of wait until I got those to do the deck profile, because I usually prefer higher rarity of cards. I've actually had this since I ordered the deck originally. When it first came out, I ordered the researches and everything, and I had like one of my cart things in my cart were like $4, and these were like 35 cents, so I just got them. I was like, yeah, fuck it. I don't want to pay for the rocks, or for the Dark Illusions, But, yeah, so good old super rare Block Dragons. Card's unfortunately going to get banned. There's no doubt about it. If they don't ban it, there is something wrong with them, because that card is unfair. And then you play Medolce Pudding Cess. This is just The only reason you play it is because there's 4 stars here and there's an earth symbol there, and it special summons itself. If you have no monsters in your grave, that's it. No real super explanation to give you guys about that. And then the last 2 monsters are Buster and Old Lion. Sooner, maybe I'll squeeze one more. I don't want to do too many of the same deck profiles, but I couldn't wait. I was pretty bored today, so I wanted to show you guys this deck. Yeah, this is going to be an ultra or secret, and this is going to be an ultra or secret, so maybe I'll just like bling this out and maybe do one more deck profile before Blocky Boy gets banned. But yeah, these are getting hollowed in Battles of Legends. Like, so friends, go check out my full spoiler list video too. Yeah, let me know if you guys like that. I was thinking of doing another one as well. So, but yeah, I mean, that's for Union Carrier, and O-Line is O-Line. So yeah, no explanation there. And you play 3 Adamancipator signs. For some reason, people don't play this card. I don't understand why, but that's their choice. It's monster Reborn. That's not once per turn. And you get to stack your deck. I mean, sounds good to me. And the last, you just play the Schwunovs, you know, Monster Reborn and Foolish Burial. No real explanation necessary there, I'm sure. So for the extra deck, we got your Titans here. Access Code Talker and Appaloosa. Definitely the best Link 4s in the game, no doubt. Don't need to play Boral Sword Dragon anymore. Rest in peace to him, but he's better, hands down. Being able to destroy cards and then attack for 5,000-6,000. Yeah, thank you. Next, you got the Nightmare package. I still play them. You know, they're the best. I don't play Cerberus. I understand why people play Cerberus because it's an Earth. But like, are you really gonna dedicate a spot in your extra deck just to have like a free extra Earth? Like, in my build, I don't have any problems getting Earths. So Phoenix is better for outing Floodgates, and Unicorn is Unicorn. Good with IP. Yeah, speak of the girl. You got IP and Union Carrier. Buster Lock can win the game. Spin with IP during your opponent's turn. Or go into Access Code Talker. That can be destroyed by card effects. And yeah, a lot of people forget that effect. So I've actually caught a lot of people off guard. And then you got the Dynamic Duo. This card is fucking cancer. I literally hate this card, but you need to play it. Then you got your 8s. Got the Savage Dragon and the Dragite. These are all you need. Unfortunately, one of the things about this deck is you either like win straight up, or your grind game is kind of limited. I usually save this guy if I do need to go into the grind game because he's super good late game, and bouncing a field is insane. And Savages, you're gonna, wow. That's 2 yawns in one video. Yeah, Savage is Savage. You end your board with him. Enough said. 1 Wrap type. This is just an extender. I was considering maybe trying out Leonite, but when I first started playing this deck, I really didn't find myself going into him. I mean, it's good to be able to dig for signs and stuff like that, but this is really the only one you need. The deck is just like fine as it is. And then for the last 2 Synchros, these basically are just like coinciding with each other. You use this to make this. You know, Marcher is good in like every Synchro deck. Herald's good in every Synchro deck. And then I just play 2 Xyz, and that is Gallant Granite and Abyss Dweller. Sometimes I do consider putting Abyss Dweller in my side deck and maybe squeezing in like 1 more Synchro or maybe 1 more Link or something like that. But I always find myself using him, so, you know, and he's still an auto win against decks that rely on the graveyard. I mean, hell, he shits on Orcus. Sorry, Orcus, I love you guys, but you lose to this card. And Gallant Granite is just a +1, search for Nib, or Block Dragon, you can search for Nib, and Researcher. So that is my Adamancipator deck profile. Let me know down below what other decks you guys want to see. I have 4 more deck profiles coming up, but I'm just waiting on a couple cards in the mail. One of them is a super throwback, but it's one of my favorite original decks. I mean, it's legal too, so I know I do a couple profiles here and there that are retro, you know, like my True Draco deck, which obviously you can't play now, and like my Pepe deck and stuff. Go check those out too down below if you guys want to trip down nostalgia lane. Yeah, so I'm going to pump out a couple more deck profiles. Comment down below, let me know how you guys like this one, maybe some changes you want to make. I'm always down for some constructive criticism. Just don't tell me to play the Tiny Spirit at Hara, and don't tell me to play Unexpected Die, because I'm not going to play those cards. I like hitting excavations off the top of my deck every time I excavate, so please don't comment that. Or do, whatever, I just won't listen to you. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, tell your homies about this. I'm really trying to get to like 100 subscribers pretty soon. Getting there slowly but surely. So yeah, also I'm going to get a couple more duel videos out for you guys. And also let me know if you guys want to see some more combo videos and stuff like that too. Maybe some more test hands with Adamancipator. Yeah. Thank you for watching, guys. Girsu out.